So just what, after you guys are down one with, I think, 15:41 to go, what kind of opened the game up for you offensively?
Obviously, we got some good looks and executed, knocked down some shots. I thought before that, at the start of the second half, we had 3 or 4, good looks. It just didn't go down from 3, and then we were able to hit some shots there. And then obviously get some stops. Garcia is a player that just, finds his way to 20 points. And I thought, what key for us is that Mitchell didn't get going. I thought C.J. Cox and Miles Colvin, Jakari Harris, I thought those guys did a really good job guarding him. And he did get a couple good looks there at the end. But, this was after, he didn't get his head up during the course of the game. So I thought that was a big part of the game. But probably comes down to our ability to take care of the basketball. Anytime, sometimes you're not getting the best shot in the world, even though I thought in the second half we got really good shots, but you're still getting shots. You're giving yourself a chance to set your defense, you're giving yourself a chance for the ball to go in, giving yourself a chance to offensive rebound. When you're turning it over and you're playing transition defense and you're against it, you just make the game so hard for yourself. And tonight, with 0 turnovers in the second half, that was huge.
Braden getting 10 assists and no turnovers, and then putting the game away with his three-point shooting. Was that kind of both sides of Braden Smith there and kind of the gamer and him coming out there in those last 10 minutes?
Right. Obviously he has the ball in his hands a lot. And, we need the balance of that. We need him to score the basketball. We need him to play make for our team to be successful. So it was great to see him close it out. I thought Fletch had a great game and really made shots and just took what the defense gave to him. But, yeah, it was, kind of a monumental game for Braden, being able to go over 1,000 points and he's over 500 assists and 400 rebounds. It's pretty cool company to be in, especially when you're only a junior.
To get the production from Caleb, because he hasn't had a lot of consistent minutes. Now 2 games in a row got a lot of minutes. Are you seeing kind of the Caleb that of a couple of years ago?
Yeah, we just felt other night like he really played well. We were a better team with him in the game, and I thought that it was just a perfect matchup for us with him and Garcia, and just to try to make it hard as we can with Garcia, and at 6'9", and his size, we thought it made a whole lot of sense for him to be out there matching up with him.
Why did that middle pick and roll open up so much in the second half?
I think just different defenders. I think when Fox is there, he's a quicker guy there. When Mitchell's there, he really works hard to get there, but we were able to get a little bit of space there a couple times. Sometimes they stay flat and extended, sometimes they come out a little bit more. We were just trying to drag it as much as we could and just see what opens up. If we have to throw it behind us, or we can get the short roll there. And a couple times we dove all the way to the basket and got those layups. So just letting Braden kind of read it and just kind of see how they were going to handle everything. Obviously, when you make some shots and you come behind it, sometimes they'll stay with those guys. And when they stay with those guys, you're going to be able to have that skip. And, Braden does a good job of finding guys.
And then Fletcher coming off that little screen, catching the ball going downhill, where they just stepping out on it and letting him get around the corner.
Yeah, just kind of, once again, same thing. Just make the same read. And if he can get to his pull-up or he could get a drive there, that'd be great. But if not, he's got to make that same read, that Braden was making. We were just doing that more off a dribble handoff versus a ball screen.
Just to get a win on the road, and it was tough for about 30 minutes, kind of like you would expect it to be. But that's going to feel good just to get the monkey off your back a little bit.
Yeah, no doubt. You play at Marquette, you play at Penn State, you have some tough neutral games, just to be able to build that confidence, for our next road game after this, because we go into another hornet's nest when we go obviously to Rutgers.
Just the first half, what were your kind of thoughts going in the locker room in terms of why that game was
we were getting shots, and so we only turned the ball over 3 times in the first half, so that was something that we had talked about when we struggled. When we struggle, we normally turn the ball over. So we had struggles, but that was what we kept saying to them, hey, we're getting some pretty good shots. We messed up some things around the rim, but more than anything, just keep doing it. We gave up 7 layups in the first half. Some of it was dribble, penetration. Some of it was just simple breakdowns off of some action that they did, and we just had to try to clean things up. We had 2 different times we didn't do what we were supposed to on out of bounds plays. We just give up a wide open layup. So there's just things we have to clean up and do a better job with. And I thought the second half we did.
You mentioned that Caleb matched up with Dawson pretty well. What was behind C.J. Cox starting?
Just trying to get, you try to get guys going, whether it's getting him going or getting Miles going or getting Jakari going, like whoever it might be, just like, I just didn't think we played with enough purpose and toughness other day against Toledo. And like, sometimes when you play great teams, like we've played in non-conference, like sometimes those teams will steal your spirit. You know what I mean? And now it's like, you got to be able to keep competing, keep fighting. And I just didn't think we had that. And that has something to do with the two guys that didn't start or the two guys that got to start. Sometimes collectively now, how you rotate in, you can do, some guys better start. We went through all this, before, but like that was just it. There was nothing more, than that. It's like, hey man, we gotta be able to go out there no matter who we start and compete and start games and sub in and be able to play with grit and be able to play with toughness. And I thought that was better tonight. I think sometimes for guys, like when the ball's not going in for them, it's tough to do other things. But I thought tonight, those guys did other things. I thought CJ's defense was great. I thought Miles' defense was great. G, knocked down that three. That has to be great for his, for his confidence. And he didn't play as much as those other two. But, just trying to build in the best way we can.
Did you want to make this a low possessions game?
No.
It seemed like you were very methodical in the first half.
Yeah, we were trying to push it as much as we could. We just didn't. We just weren't able to get ourselves in positions where we could push the basketball and disrupt and be able to get some advantages in transition. So that's us. I think that's a lot of people. I think it gets so hard to play in the half court that if you don't, get some stuff somewhere off the glass or in transition, you just make it so hard on yourself.